So what is blind contour? So blind contour is when you're drawing something without looking at your paper. So you're paying really close attention to your subject. So in this case, I'm going to draw my hand here. And I'm going to try really hard to not look at the paper while I'm doing this. I want to focus my attention on my hand and less on my paper. Because I'm recording this to show you as an example, my hand is really close to my paper, and it's a little bit hard to not see the paper. So when you're doing this, I really recommend, if you are drawing your hand, to put your paper off to the side so that you really can't see it, or, to draw something that is a little bit further away from your paper so that you really don't feel tempted to look at your paper. I'm going to start by my wrist here, by my wrist right here, and then I'm going to work my way around. It's blind contour, so you're focusing on the contour edge, the outside edge of things, and it's all one connected line. You're trying not to lift your pencil up too much. It's all one connected line. So there may be parts where you can't really fully get into and get that detail because you need to stay on the outside contour to feel connected overall. As I'm doing this, I'm kind of imagining like an ant slowly crawling along kind of the outer edge of my hand. So I'm really imagining this ant crawling along. And so as this ant is crawling along, my eye is following that ant. And as my eye is following that ant, my pencil is moving. Everything is kind of moving at the same speed. This is kind of hard to do while talking. It's something that is really helpful to do to kind of turn off your brain, get into this meditative state, and try to really take the time to observe your subject. It's more about developing your eye skills. You're seeing, you're observing skills more so than trying to get a beautiful, accurate, finished drawing. You want to really let go of the idea that you're going to come out of this making, a perfectly drawn hand or, an accurate hand or anything like that. But it is beautiful nonetheless. I think these drawings are really beautiful because you're taking the time to really slow down and observe. And so what happens is the quality of your line is so beautiful. You're finding these really intricate nooks and crannies and like really detailed little bumps of going in and going out. So much detail that you may not have taken the time to notice every day in your hand that really comes out when you're taking the time to slow down and observe every little detail. I would recommend going slower than what I'm doing right now, and really take the time to try to capture every little detail that you're seeing. I'm seeing the little bumps as I go around my nail bed, my nail bumping out, my nail bed going in, bumping out again for that joint, a little bit of wrinkle, a little bit of fold around my thumb knuckle there, bumping out for my thumb joints, and bumping out again as I go down to my wrist, and done. And so you can see that this does not look like my hand. There's a lot of, issues with like the proportions. So my fingers are way too fat, and they don't look long enough. So there's a lot of proportion issues. Looks a little bit wonky. But what I want you to pay attention to is the quality of the line, the confidence in the mark making, because you don't have the time to really, you don't have the ability to feel insecure because you're not looking at your paper. So there's no hesitance in the mark making. It's really confident lines and really intricate, detailed, beautiful lines. So you can see all the little bumps that I was noticing, maybe the joints coming out, or maybe there's wrinkles and folds. You can feel that each joint on the finger, where the nail bed is going in, where the nail bed is going in, the softness of the tip of the finger. There's a lot of information packed into this line. That's just so different from, if you're taking a look at your paper and you sit down and you maybe try to draw a hand, you'd approach it with maybe a lot more structure and, a lot more simplified shapes, and you wouldn't get these kind of beautiful, intricate lines. It's a really different kind of approach and a really different kind of mark making that I want you to think of as an exercise to kind of train your eye into really taking the time to see those details, so that even if you're starting your hand, drawing from structure, drawing from, thinking of, where your finger's going to go, the angles that things line up in. Even if you're starting from something like structure, you can learn to, later on incorporate some of this detail because your eyes can really see it, because you've taken the time to do this practice and really observe these details. So it's a lesson in trying to really slow down. And it's great for, if you're feeling stressed and you really need to meditate or you really need to turn off, you can try this exercise to really just slow down. Just don't beat yourself up about the end product, because it's really hard to make something look perfectly accurate when you're not looking at your paper. And it's, again, just an exercise in slowing down and trying to take a look at, what you're actually drawing.